Das is the new governor of the Reserve Bank of India. It is now official. Remember, we told you this last night that Shaktikanta Das was the front runner. It is now official. This is official news that's coming in. It is confirmed. The CNBC TV 18 Newsbreak confirmed Shaktikanta Das. The Appointments Committee, the ACC, has approved the appointment of Shaktikanta Das, former Secretary, Department of Economic Affairs, as the governor of Reserve Bank of India for a period of 3 years. Let's bring in the first reaction from the government. The CEO of the Niti Aayog, Amitabh Kant, also an IAS officer from the 1980 batch, a colleague of Shaktikanta Das, joins us. Mr. Kant, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Shaktikanta Das, now the governor of the Reserve Bank of India. Your first comments on the fact that he finds himself treading into fairly troubled waters?
Shireen, Shakti is a very seasoned, very matured officer. He's also a very distinguished officer. He's handled the budget of Government of India for a very, very long time. He's been the finance secretary of Government of Tamil Nadu as well, and has done budget for Tamil Nadu for very long period of time. I don't think any other officer in Government of India has the experience which Shakti has in matters of finance, both at Government of India and at the state level. He's also been the industry secretary of Tamil Nadu and had steered investments across a range of areas, particularly in the automobile sector. So in terms of sheer experience of finance, industry, budget, he brings in a very, very formidable experience. He's also, as I said, extremely matured. He has a great ability of consensus building. He has this great ability of taking his team along. And he has a great ability of working as a team leader. And I've known him for a very, very long time, from my college days in St. Stephen's College. And subsequently he's from my batch of the Indian Administrative Service. And let me tell you very clearly that he's an outstanding choice. Immense experience, immense maturity, and tremendous caliber and great team leader.
Well, I happen to be a St. Stephen's alumni as well, so I know exactly what you mean. But as you pointed out, 1980 batch, the same as Shaktikanta Das. But, the point that you were making, Mr. Kant, about him being a consensus builder, a team player, so to speak, given the fact that it's no secret that there has been a rift between the government and the Reserve Bank of India over crucial issues, a virtual breakdown of communication. So is it crucial then that here is a man who has finance ministry experience now going into the Reserve Bank of India? He knows Mr. Jaitley very well. He knows Subhash Chandra Garg very well. He's worked with these people. How crucial is it that he already has existing relationships and good relationships with the team at North Block as he heads to Mint Street?
Yeah. The great thing is that he's worked in government. He's been on the board of RBI earlier. I don't think anybody else would have this great capability of ensuring that the autonomy of RBI is fully maintained and work in good partnership with the government. Both these are necessary to my mind. We must send out a clear message that the RBI is an autonomous institution, and as well as our ability to see that we are able to work in very, very close partnership with the government so that economic growth is maintained, so that India continues to grow and expand. And all this Shakti is very capable. Shaktikanta Das is extremely capable of doing.
Okay, and we also have Dr. B Mal Jalan with us. Dr. Jalan, good evening, sir. Shaktikanta Das, how well do you know him? And do you think this is a good choice under the current circumstances?
No, under the current circumstances, there can't be two opinions. It's a good choice. He's from the government. He was in the finance ministry, and he will now be working in the RBI. So I'm sure that, there would, of course, be differences in future, but they will be internal and not in public domain. Okay. So it will work out. I'm glad that
Okay, so we were just discussing. So we were just discussing. He's a postgraduate in history, although he has wide experience in economic policy making. From your predecessor onwards, right up to the governor who just resigned, you were all doctoral degree holders in economics. Will that be a bit of a disadvantage?
No, I don't think so. You know, once you have, if you're a finance secretary, if you worked in the Ministry of Finance, then it doesn't matter, really. You have that experience. And you know you are making economic policy and you are doing monetary policy or whatever needs to be done. So he must have performed very well to be able to get the job that he has done.
Yeah.
And so that's, no problem.
Dr. Jalan, just 1 minute if you can hold on. Mr. Das comes in at a time when there are serious differences of opinion between how the Reserve Bank is looking at certain things and how the board is looking at certain things, especially whether weak banks should be allowed out of the prompt corrective action regimen and whether they should be allowed to lend.
No, I can't comment on that part. I can't comment on that part. But what I'm saying is that there are always differences of views, even in your editorial team or whatever it is. But you all resolve it internally.
And now we have Dr. B Mal Jalan's predecessor, C. Rangarajan, joining us, former Reserve Bank Governor, former PMAC chairman, policy maker for, I think, 30 years or almost 40 years in government. Dr. Rangarajan, Shaktikanta Das, I assume you know him well. He has been Department of Economic Affairs Secretary, Tamil Nadu Order. Shaktikanta Das retired as IAS officer very recently, couple of years back, and is now Sherpa of the G20. Your thoughts on this choice?
Well, Shaktikanta has a lot of experience in economic affairs, and therefore he should be able to function effectively as Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. The only concern that some people may have is that he's coming from government, but there has been in the past many people who have come from the government, IAS officers who came from the government and became governors, and they have acted very independently. That's why I expect that Shaktikanta, when he takes over as governor of the Reserve Bank of India, will stand up by what the RBI should be standing for and maintain its integrity, autonomy, and independence.
Okay. Well, but at the moment, the challenge is a bit severe compared to previous governors, would you say? We understand that the board is going to closely supervise everything that the governor does. Would this make it particularly difficult? How do you think Mr. Das could approach this?
Well, these are issues that will come up, and probably they should be discussed thoroughly and the conclusion reached. I don't think that everything should be taken for granted. The board may want to take a greater role, but what role it will play and how and to what extent it can go. But we all know the constitution of the board as it is now, and one must take into account the nature of the board and the kind of representations that are there in the board and take a proper decision. I think conflict of interest is one issue that will come up. And therefore, taking that into account, any modification, any arrangement may be worthwhile. So I expect Shaktikanta to stand up for issues for which RBI should stand up and ensure its autonomy.
What do you make of Shaktikanta Das's appointment as RBI Governor, and what would your expectation be now for the RBI board meeting on the 14th of December?
No, he is a seasoned and a sensible civil servant, and he has served on the board of RBI. He understands the dynamics of central bank as well as government. I think it's eminently good choice. And the point you made that he has no doctorate in economics, let me tell you that central banking is both science and art. And for your kind information, Christian Lagarde is not an economist who is heading International Monetary Fund. So having said that, I think he has a lot of challenges on hand, and I'm sure he will be able to navigate RBI and we will have a much better coordination between RBI and government. And I think he will rightly focus on both autonomy and accountability as well as independence and interdependence. So far as the 14th meeting is concerned, I think the board has to give time to the new governor to observe what has happened. I don't think we'll have major issues discussed in the board. Maybe it will have a sort of a preliminary sort of a meeting. And going forward, I think some of the issues will be discussed in detail. One area probably where some decision will be announced about the formation of the committee or the panel which will look into the economic capital framework of the Reserve Bank. I believe that was one issue on which there was no consensus between Governor Patel and government so far. And that could have been perhaps the proximate reason for his resignation. I think that issue probably will be sorted out by the time the board meeting happens.